I thought about writing a piece of music called Bean Juice.
I see the government's changing their rules on what you can call milk these days.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to call it soy milk anymore. If it doesn't come out of an udder, it's not milk.
Yeah, I've been to certain places where I like to.
I think
See,
we're on the
they should
air.
make regulations that you can't call this coffee, man.
There we are. We're on the air.
I know, we're on TV. I knew that. Man, I knew that. It's time for the Tom's Guitar Show theme. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with a guitar. And they used to call me on the phone back when we had a call-in show back in the olden days. And they'd ask me questions. They'd ask questions like, hey, man, what's your show about? I say, it's about an hour. About guitars, guitar playing, all things guitaristic. So you can't call me anymore. I guess you can tweet me sometime. We don't have anybody standing by for the tweet. But, you know, the Twitter thing, but, you know, you could, and you could ask me questions about the care and feeding your guitar, what kind of guitar is right for you, how to play the guitar, talk about related instruments, like the pipa. I now have a pipa, by the way, which is going to be a topic of conversation when I waste your time with my talking. And sitar. I have a sitar. I have a great sitar from India. Or we could talk about, you know, guitarrones, guitarras, chitoles, lutes, vihuelas, banjos, balaicas, bazookas, bajos, sextos, bandurias, bandolims, mandolins, bandoras, mandolas, mandocellos, ukuleles, and banjoleles, trombones and trombomarinas, pipe organs and piccolos, harmoniums, harmonicas, and harpsichords.
B-flat, A, and C clarinets.
B-flat, A, and C clarinets. Somebody's got to tell us why they have, never mind. I don't know why. I don't know. I know what clarinets look like and sound like. I used to have friends who played clarinet in the...
Benny Goodman had one.
Yeah, Benny Goodman had probably more than one. Well, see, when I was a kid, I'm getting off the subject. Mr. Skopinski's over here fooling around with the cameras. And, when I was in high school, I used to hang around with some of the clarinet players. They were pretty girls. And we were just pals, though. I used to...
My high school sweetheart played the clarinet.
Oh, his high school sweetheart played the clarinet. Well, there you go.
There's
Anyway.
something now about that black wood they make woodwinds out of.
Ebony.
It's I don't know if it's endangered or what, but
Yeah, ebony is endangered. There are other things you can make them out of, but they used to make them out of maple and stuff. And I don't know, man. There are different ways, and there are a lot of like plastic ones now.
Looks like we have one camera that knows what color your guitar is, and the other ones don't.
We had a heck of a time with these. I don't know if people at home know this, but we're using a green screen, so I'm not actually in this wonderful studio here. I am in a wonderful studio, but it just has a green wall and a green floor, and all this stuff is projected with the chroma key. And I brought this yellow guitar thinking that'd be safe because it's not green. So,
and when you're on the camera that recognizes that,
yeah,
we're okay. The other camera thinks it's orange.
Well, the other camera I think is kind of see-through, and I can actually, you can sort of see through it. You see, I'm looking through you, and it's shiny. Anyway, it's a long story. So, anyway, we'll talk about politics, world events, people's personality problems. It's all fine. It's all good, but we're keep it clean. This is a family show. Okay. So this week, all right, so Thursday at the Tuscan Moon, I promised, actually I promised on Saturday that on Thursday I would take this Lamborghini Yellow Flying V guitar, which is actually a fine guitar, but I've kind of moved on since this midlife crisis period, which means I probably won't live to be 122 because I'm...
And no longer have enough hair to play
yeah. Well,
metal guitar.
I'm not going to play any metal on this anyway. But a gentleman is someone who knows how to play heavy metal but chooses not to. Anyway, although I do have an alter ego Johnny Two chord, which I think you would have a long,
Have to
long
get a clip-on ponytail.
Well, I could have a baseball cap and then have the ponytail sticking out the back. Yeah, but I could just get a baseball cap that has the ponytail built into it. But anyway, but no, so I'm going to play this, and this is a DBZ, and DBZs are no more. You can, DBZ is defunct. There's still such a thing as diamond guitars, which is basically the same thing. DBZ moved on to DBZ Diamond and then Diamond. And I have a Diamond. It's a wonderful guitar, but they're hard to get, and they're mostly defunct. They have some if you're interested in a warehouse somewhere in Muncie, Indiana. So, oh, well, it's coffee.
Find one online, maybe.
You can find them online. I don't know if they're gonna actually send you one, but I got one through Amazon. The one Diamond Imperial with the hollow body, which is quite an interesting guitar. I quite like it. A couple of years ago, maybe more than a year ago, I don't know when it was, through Amazon, and it was this. They had two of them in a warehouse in Muncie, Indiana, and I don't know if you can. I mean, I guess it came from me, but anyway. So this is DBZ's take on a Flying V, and it's Lamborghini Yellow. So I told Warren at the Tuscan Moon that I'm going to play this one. And I'm not going to rock, man. I'm going to do my usual, you know.
For her, Tom. Play it again.
That's right. Well, I played it for her. Yeah. Well, the thing about this guitar, though, is that if you have access, easy access to the 22nd fret. That's a D. I mean, that's that's easy to get up there. Some guitars, that's get up like that, But this is last week I had that little parlor guitar on the show, where the body and neck met at the 12th fret, which is here, by the way. And so anything beyond there, I had to get up here, and it only had like 17 frets at 22. I had to get up on top like this if I'm going to play. But here it's all the way to the end. In fact, it's kind of handy. See, because my hand stops here. So if I want to go, anyway. I didn't do that. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm just running out. So my old buddy, Mr. Dixon, I don't think he's ever been on this show. He normally lives in northern Minnesota. That's where his address really is. But he's been working for FEMA for a number of years, so he goes wherever the action is. And he's been in Texas a lot because they've had a lot of disasters between fires and floods and things, and hurricanes and so forth. So he was based out of Austin, and anyway, so he had a pal who was a singer-songwriter. And I forget his name. I should probably write it down somewhere because I never heard of him. He was he had some brushes with fame, but wasn't a star or anything. But he was an Austin songwriter. Anyway, he had an instrument collection, and they got rid of everything that people would want. But they had three things they couldn't get rid of. One is a 15-chord auto harp, which is fine because I actually know how to play an auto harp. This is an older one. I don't know how old it is, but it's it's older than it's pre-1970, I'm sure. So it could be 1940 something. I don't know. Needs new strings and stuff, and needs a lot of work. But I know how to restring and tune an auto harp. See, auto harps were popular in the schools because they're easy to play. You push the button and you strum. The only thing is, tuning an auto harp is a problem. So I one time I was doing artist in residence in an elementary school somewhere in western Iowa, far away, and they had a bunch of auto harps that the school had because schools used to have a bunch of auto harps because the kids could play them. You could push the button and strum, but tuning it, So I could tune an auto harp. I mean, I have there are not that many things in the world I'm good at.
Given enough time.
Right. Well, yeah, it takes a while. Also, if you restring an auto harp, the strings have to stretch, so you have to retune it about, probably no more than 20 to 30 times, before it starts to stay. But then next time you pick it up, you might tune it again. Anyway, but after a few months, it'll probably stay in tune, pretty much, But anyway, so, okay, he brought me one of those, but the other thing he brought me was a really high-quality sitar from India. And so we've mentioned sitars. I don't know how to play the sitar. I have a certain amount of respect for the sitar. I'm not going to just... people, if they don't know how to play it, a certain kind of person will play Smoke on the Water, or the first part of it, because you can go like... I'm not going to play Smoke on the Water on the sitar if I can ever get it needs strings, and it will need to be tuned. So, I mean, I have a feeling this is somebody's instrument collection that's been sitting around for a really long time. And he was old and he died, and I didn't know him, so it's, Anyway. So he brought me this very fine sitar. It's probably worth a lot of money, but I got sold. Also a pipa. And if you don't know the pipa, it's like a Chinese mandolin. It's got a round body, like a banjo, but instead of having a skin on the top, it has a piece of wood that's not finished. And I forget what it's called. It's like princess wood or something. It's some tree, that Asian tree that is very light. And in World War II, the Japanese cut down like all the trees. And you know, this is because it was, you know, to build airplanes with, because it's very light but very strong. It's like light like balsa but very strong. Also has beautiful tone for this kind of, you know, Chinese music. And I happen to know that this wood, which I could look up more, but I know that that in the 19th century, people would send Chinese, you know, would send porcelain to, you know, and they'd unload it in San Francisco, and to pack it, they packed it in the seeds of this tree. So people just open it up, and you know, so it became an invasive species. So in the mountains, not far from San Francisco, these trees grow as an invasive species, but they're now old growth because they're over 100 years old. So now the Japanese are buying this stuff, you know, so to make, and the Chinese, you know, so to make peepaws and things. And it's a people call it princess wood, but it has another name, you know, a Chinese name, and has, you know, anyway. So that's what the top is, very thin, and it's unfinished. There's no varnish or anything on it. So I have one of these. It has 4 strings. It has wooden frets. A bunch of the frets have fallen off, but I have them in a little pouch in the case, and it needs a set of strings. So someday, I'm going to bring my peepot here. What I wonder is that Ricardo out there? Is he? I keep thinking I see Ricardo. He's on our board. He left. She was Ricardo. Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, so I have these 3 instruments. I know what to do with the auto harp. I can figure out what to do with the peepah, but the sitar, I mean, it's like this big. I'll probably bring these things on the show. I was going to ask the instrument repair guy how to glue wooden frets back down onto the peepah, but apparently he's moving right now this week, so he probably won't take my questions.
I saw there was a lot of that over the weekend when Ragbri was in town. People had to vacate their apartments. Streets were closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, great. Well, trying to dodge all the U-Hauls and other trailers in the roads was bad enough, but I spent most of my Ragbri in Kelowna there. I played the gig there. Went pretty well, actually. The other guy didn't show up, the noon guy. So I was supposed to be from 2 to 4, which is kind of late anyway. So I got there a little bit before 1 or like quarter to 1, something like that, and there was nobody playing. So I set up, and some guy from the city, some volunteer guy with a Kelowna T-shirt on, said, where you been, or something like that. So I'm the 2 o'clock guy, but there's nobody here, so I started playing. So I played for, you know, from like 1 o'clock till almost 4. And I never played so loud or so hard before. Playing my red Stratocaster and just kind of cranking it up and then just doing stuff. It was kind of fun, but when I was done and then everything was, you know, blown over and I drove home, I, you know, put my stuff in the house, you know, and then I went upstairs and I lay down and fell asleep for 2 hours because it was like, because I was there bouncing on my, you know, I usually sit back, you know, and waste time and play guitar laid back, but I was like really, really loud and aggressive. Played a lot of rock standards and things and solos. So anyway, I'm going to play this thing in a minute. I just, so I've been yawning on the show quite a bit, and, you know.
So you're going to become caffeinated man.
Yeah, caffeinated man. Because, so anyway, I dug out this thermos. I bought a kind of a lunch, big time lunch kit that there was when Kmart went out of business on sale. Got a great deal on it. Of course, an insulated thing, but it had this thermos. And I was thinking about bringing more interesting coffee cups. But anyway, so I got the thermos at Kmart for like $5 and plus the thing. But I also, the coffee came from the young busboy at the Tuscan Moon who went to Guatemala earlier in the summer on some sort of trip. Young fellow, 14, 15-year-old guy, Levi. I told him my pants were named after him. Anyway. But we'll see if that helps. Not as good as my high-V blend, but never mind. Okay. All right. So Not fooling around. Let's see if I can make a loop out of this. F sharp was the worst note I could have played. And I did it.
So people can see the yellow guitar Thursday night at the Tuscan Moon.
That's right. And I'll start earlier, like somewhere not long after 5, and then they close at 9 on Thursday. It's like more like 6 to 10 on Friday, Saturday. So
Friday and Saturday, some other guitar.
I probably, who knows? Maybe this would be my thing, man. You know, I could play this all the time.
Play a little Iron Man.
Yeah, I suppose. You know, I could push a button there and twist a few knobs, and I could have this distorted, saturated. You know,
Of course, then to really do it right, you got to get in there with a razor blade and scratch up your speaker cone.
that would help even more. Yeah. I would just blow out the speaker and say, "Hey, I like it that way." Yeah. Yeah. Somebody wrote something trio for crash compactor and other things or whatever. Back in the old days when they were doing that sort of stuff. Then they kind of mainstream that. You can. But since we're on the subject of goofing off, let me see, make sure this.
Well, we haven't finished with the Tuscan Moon yet. So Friday and Saturday, what, 6 to 10?
6 to 10 or so. Yeah, I'll be playing there. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I guess we'll see how things go. Last week, though, I played that red. So I agonized over what I was going to play on Friday, and I didn't actually play. The Tuscan was closed on Friday because they, I was open during the RAGBRAI thing, but the Highway Patrol closed the town down at 4 because they were, they didn't want to defend the populace from the bikers, so they were closed for dinner. I mean, I actually had dinner or whatever at 4 there, but being sort of like a quasi-employee, I was allowed. But anyway, so I played that red. I was going to play the red. So Thursday I was thinking about it. I said, well, I'll take it to the moon. I'll play the red Strat. See how it sounds through the amp that I keep there, the Roland JC40 Jazz Chorus 40, which is by some people's standards a small amp, but I usually have it up like 2.5, maybe 3 on the volume knob that goes to 10. And so I played that. I thought, well, I really like the sound. It's the American Special Stratocaster, so it's actually made in California, USA, instead of Baja, California, Mexico. It's the cheapest one they USA made when you can get. They're like, it used to be $999. Now I think it might be $1,099 or something. I don't know. It depends. West Music has a nice one. It's brown. It's called Walnut. It's not made out of walnut, but it's brown, and it's. I like it, but I have the red and white one. So I'm sorry, I digress. Funny for me, I'm familiar with the inventory of the local guitar shops. Anyway, so.
Side effect of gas, I assume.
Yeah, gas, guitar acquisition syndrome. All right, so I played it Thursday night, and I had a good time. It was good guitar. That's really easy for me to hold a Stratocaster for like 3 or 4 hours and just like make all kinds of music on one. Not necessarily that good for the flamenco, but you deal, And then so that was fun. And then so I took it with me to, I had all these ideas about taking a flamenco guitar, and I didn't know, it had a PA, but I didn't know what kind it was going to be, and nobody could answer my questions on Thursday in Kelowna. And so I was going to take this great big tweed amp that I had, but Laura, my wife, she talked me out of it. So I just took that one Stratocaster again, but instead of putting it in a hard shell case, I put it on a gig bag on my back because I didn't know how close I'd be able to park because the street was blocked off and everything. There were thousands of bikers, so I parked not that far away. But anyway, so I walked through the streets, and then I went to the Tuscan Moon where Paula was at the door, as a gatekeeper because they only had a capacity for like 100, and people were like, anyway. And then I went there, I picked up my amp from there, and I went and plugged it in, and then I started. The other guy didn't show up. So I got there before 1, and I was supposed to play at 2, but there's nobody there, so I started playing at 1, and I played till almost 4 when they were like, when the streets started emptying out pretty much. Everybody's on the bike ride to Iowa City. And then, but I cranked it out just like so loud, and all this kind of rock and roll stuff that I can do, I guess. And then, looping and playing solos and stuff. And people seem to really like it. You know, they didn't expect. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of these other towns have people who can play. You know, I mean, I know. I mean, a lot of people. Well, like people like to hold the guitar and goof off. There are a lot of really good players out there. You know, but anyway, so I was like better than they expected. You know, but I was standing there, kind of bouncing on my feet, like a.
So Tom, it sounds like you're modestly saying that you were a hit.
Well, I did. I did. I was sort of a hit, I guess. Nobody hit me. And driving home, I didn't hit any bicycles either. So. Too big. The neck's too long. Ricardo, hey, Ricardo, you want to be on TV? You want to be on TV?
Right now?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. What do you want
Step
to
over
do?
in front of the camera.
You tell me what you want.
Well, I just, why don't you be Bob for a minute?
Hey, Bob. Oh,
Yeah, Bob, you can be back and be Bob later. You can never be, have a seat.
all right.
Yeah, I just wanted to. In fact, maybe I should talk to you while I drink this coffee and then switch over.
I
Because I'm
should
going to
silence my phone here.
What about your phone? Oh, it's silent. Well, that's okay if somebody calls you up. I mean, you can answer the phone.
Etiquette,
You're not doing anything
etiquette.
here. Just goofing off, you know.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well.
It's an honor.
Well, it's a dubious honor. You ask Bob there. He's been doing it for years. But we could Bob snowbirds in the dead of winter.
Oh, really?
He goes to,
that's awesome.
goes down to Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah. So somewhere in what late January until April 1st or something like that. What?
Well, it's usually mid-April when I get back. I leave out there April 1st.
Yeah.
Then we go up to Seattle and see my daughter. Take the shortcut through Seattle on the way home.
Yeah, take the shortcut. Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. So we'll be able to use a guy like you,
Yeah.
when the time comes.
February and March.
yeah, I stay here.
Yeah, you got no choice, right? You
Yeah.
like work and stuff, right?
I don't have a summer home. Yeah, exactly.
You don't have a summer, you don't have
Or a
home?
winter home, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, not yet, huh?
No.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if I would do that. I like the winter. I like the snow. I'm one of those weirdos.
It's okay with me. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. I mean, I'm kind of from here.
It's
Actually,
nice.
I was born in Montana at a high elevation. It was much colder. But there you
Yeah.
are. Look, you're on TV, man. Oh, you're not supposed to look at the monitor. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. I do all the time.
Tom's Guitar Show.
See, I'm looking at the monitor now. See, so I'm looking over there. That's looking at the monitor. Okay, I'm supposed to look at the camera, but I don't want to look at the. No, okay.
My bad.
So you came here for the board, the committee meeting, didn't you?
I was actually trying to help out with your show, but then I realized that I probably should have showed up half an hour before you started shooting, not exactly at
Oh, you can
6.
help anytime you want. I'm sure Mr. Skopinski could find a job for you, but.
I mean, here I am, so
Oh yeah,
I'm
but here you're helping
contributing.
out. I mean, not that I
Yeah.
need help because I got Bob, but
Hey, you could be a director trainee.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll
But Mr. Skavinsky probably wants a day off once in a while too.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't know this, but you were an intern here back in the old days. You worked on my show back in the olden days.
Yeah, I've done the camera for your show before, so
Yeah.
that was my intention to just show up and be like, hey, I'm here. So
Well, you can do that.
look where you
know.
got me. Yeah,
Listen,
I'm on the show.
The
Hey,
director shows up after the show starts. I mean, you can show him up whenever you want.
one of those cool directors.
Yeah, he's that cool. That's the thing. So, so I'm just fooling around with this device here while you're a board member. So but you're like a local. You're like a native Iowa Cityan, pretty much, aren't you? Or
I grew up here, yeah.
yeah.
We should question our director about that.
So-
Now that he's retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amp out mixer. Amp out. Okay, that's amp. Sorry, I'm just fooling around here. And then this is probably the one I want to plug it into, I think. All right. Jazz, R&B, country. How about rock?
Yeah.
Just I want this is a trio band creator from Digitech. It's a yeah, okay, volume. Put the volume about, I don't know where to put it, but about halfway. It's here, put it halfway. So I've been using this looper. I didn't use it on that last song, but you know how this all works, right? I play guitars all the time.
Yep. I've seen the show.
Yeah. Yeah, you seen? Oh yeah.
I've been in the show.
Yeah. Now you're in the
Worked
show
on
again.
the show. Yeah. Tom's Guitar Show.
Yeah. I could confess that you are on the board of directors of PATV also, as am I.
Yes.
Come to think of it.
You're the president.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I
You're the
guess
boss.
Anybody who can't run fast enough, they make them. Anyway.
No.
Yeah. Well, it's an honor or privilege or some combination of the two. Well, the thing is, so we're going to do an outreach committee meeting tonight, and one thing is that our funding is we're losing our funding here. Our contract is coming to an end next month, so we have to become self-sufficient and we have to survive. We have to figure out some way to continue this resource, because anybody can come in here and make a show. If I'm living proof. See? Even I have a show. So you could.
And your show's a legend.
Yeah, well, sooner or later everybody sees Tom's Guitar Show. People used to call me from the motels at Coralville and say, "Wow, anything back where I come from." But so we're going to have a grand reopening, relaunching, or something thing probably in about a month, give or take, because we need to. Kind of rebrand, start over again with a new organization, and so that's kind of what's going on here. But in a sense, we'll be free too, because we have certain restrictions. We are a cable station, So we've been part of MediaCom's, array of stations you get. And we will no longer be that. So, anyway.
I'm tweeting you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yes, everything you said.
Yeah. So,
Crucial times could use the support.
yeah. So, yeah. Anyway. So that's my message to everybody. So, anyway. Well, while you're here, I was thinking about doing, okay. So, this trio band creator, I tried one out when they were new, and they were kind of expensive. I got one from a guitar shop, took it home, and fooled around with it, and thought, it's kind of cool, but I don't want to fool around with this. I'll show you how it works here in a second, but then I was at the Guitar Center, because I was really interested in certain guitars. They didn't have anything I wanted, but, oops, what have I done here? But they did have one of these. This is their demo that all kinds of people played with for the last 2 years or something like that, and it was on sale really cheap.
The Ditto?
No, the trio.
Oh.
I was using it, the Ditto.
Oh, right.
Why am I
Gotcha.
getting a sound here? Oh, I know, this is all. So the idea is if I do like here we go. I'll just do it like here we go. 1, 2, blah, blah. I think I just killed it. Okay.
So does the beat come from the trio, or
I just
do you
learned
just-
what I played. I played something and I
What?
learned it.
That's so cool.
So I can go. Let's do that's rock. Let's do
What?
all rock, pop, blues. Okay.
That's so cool.
Let's do something like Kansas City here. Different key of G now. 1, 2, buckle my shoe.
That's awesome.
Let's change it.
That is so neat.
I can change style again.
Can you change genres while it's knowing?
It's my song, but it's changing the style of the backup band.
Wow.
So I'm
That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got a drummer in there.
Yeah, I got a drummer there. So, hey, Bob, how many drummers does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I got a machine for that now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna drink some more coffee because I decided to start drinking coffee on the show to make it more interesting because I get very. Are you on?
Right. That's classy. And you brought your own too. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a Guatemalan young fella came back from Guatemala and brought me some busboy brought me back some coffee. So I brought my thermos.
Wow.
Means I probably won't be getting to bed at 10:30 tonight or anything.
Yes.
But anyway, so this is I mean, there's all kinds of different things. I mean, I can. How about
What else is there? You said.
country, jazz, R&B. Let's try jazz. I don't know what's going to be in jazz, but let's see.
Jazz.
Like I'll go do something like and. Shouldn't get too complicated because there's other. That's a string bass. The bass player there is pretty good.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Let's see what else we got here.
Is that still jazz?
It's the same song, it's just different.
Oh.
It's like a different backup band.
Wow. That's awesome. That thing is so cool.
There's country, like, yeah, Elvira, okay. Something like that, yeah. Or Upa? But I don't think I have polka.
Polka? No, it's Bohemian country.
I know. I don't think they put polka in there. They're not that cool. You have to be really cool to get up to polka, I think. But I mean, maybe the country thing would do polka, because there's a like a. Let me see what I can do. I'm gonna try country and see if it'll do it. Ranchera. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
that's the
Perfect.
that's the Digitech Trio band creator.
Do R&B.
Yeah, not R&B.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, sure. R&B. Over here. Pop. Wait a minute. Rock. Pop. Can't see very well. Blues genre. Where's the R&B? I thought I saw it here. Okay, let me get a little closer here. R&B right there next to country. Fancy that.
Yeah.
All right.
Your guitar kind of looks like Pikachu, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You get that a lot?
Yeah, I guess I never thought. You're right. I never thought about that before.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's a midlife crisis guitar.
Oh,
But I've had it for a while, so I'm probably out more than halfway through my life now. So
it's great.
I have a few midlife crisis guitars.
Ooh, yeah. Contemporary. Thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah. Tom's Guitar Show. Every Tuesday.
See you next week on Tom's Guitar Show. Check me out this week at Tuscan Moon in Kelowna.
And support
Yeah, I'll bring this.
PATV. Sorry. Go ahead.